make it into our area, but we'll have a couple more days where basically the bulk of the severe weather potential will stay well to our north and off toward the north and west. But as days go by, we're going to be right here in the muggy to nearly miserable range as far as humidity goes, and then we just need a trigger. That trigger could come in the form of a sagging cold front that's going to make its way south of the Red River and into at least areas just north of us by Saturday. Tomorrow and Friday, though, more of this. Clouds giving way to some sunshine, very warm and humid and breezy conditions. Here's a look. Hour by hour forecast, patchy drizzle to start, then breaks in the overcast developing. That's for tomorrow. We'll do the same thing on Friday. 70 degrees when you head out the door, 88 degrees your afternoon high. As for storm chances, I do think late Saturday and then again overnight Sunday into Monday will be our best bets. What about severe weather chances? I actually think even though the Storm Prediction Center hasn't highlighted anything yet for Saturday, there may be a chance close to us, northwest of us on Sunday and north of us on Monday, and those two could scoot down to at least put us in a strong thunderstorm threat. For instance, this computer model showing late Saturday night, maybe some storms rolling through. We push reset and possibly another round for late Sunday night into Monday. Not set in stone, but I've upped the chances to 30% late Saturday and 40% for late Sunday. Muggy air has returned. Downright humid air will be with us as early as tomorrow morning, and it could be around for a while. I've been searching high and low for relief from this, and it could be well over a week away before we see more comfortable conditions in place. So moisture is one of the ingredients we need for storms. The other two might come into play this weekend. Until then, right now at 72 degrees, our high today 78. We had a lot of cloud cover through the day, and guess what? With the muggy air Their time is 12:37. I got both buddies with me tonight. So we've got the Skippy Ewok cam, and nice to see Ewok for a change up here. Usually it's just been Skippy lately, but I got both boys in the house. Hope you guys are doing well. Hanson, what's going on? Thanks for checking in tonight. You heard your names, didn't you? They're like, yes, we did. So now you get the dual view of the double dogs. I double dog dare you. So yeah, we get both the boys in the house tonight. They're so good. And I know Ewok's gonna be a good boy, right? Right. We nod, we shake our head. Charles, how's it going? Thanks for checking in. Late night on a Wednesday night. I don't know about you guys. I think this week is just flying by so fast. All right, so let's talk weather, shall we? So the humidity is here. If you've walked outside today, you can definitely tell. Yesterday, dew points were comfortable in the 50s. Dew points now are in the 60s, and they're going to get close to 7 degrees in the upcoming days. The end result is going to be continuation of air you can wear. Well, that was a good shot of Ewok there. Go boys. All right, so temperature-wise, right now I'm anticipating that we're going to warm up. We only hit 78 degrees for Wednesday, but I'm forecasting 86 degrees on Thursday, and we could be in the upper 80s starting Friday all the way through the upcoming weekend, and we may even tap 90 by the time we reach Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. The big question, though, is what about storms? And you may notice a new addition that I didn't have indicated yesterday. That is the possibility of some strong storms, both Saturday late afternoon to evening and Sunday night into Monday morning. Still a lot of details to figure out, but it does look more likely that there could at least be some storms that affect parts of our area. Rod, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Hanson says a great day aside from the humidity. Yeah. Jeff, how you doing? You say love the new haircut. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Max says, hey, Bob, awake again. And we've got a twofer. You say you're rehearsing for the next few days and when you actually finally will be able to get to bed. By the way, Bob, I do look forward to seeing where you end up for the next few days. Rod says, Brother's been in Chrisman for a few days, heading to Austin tomorrow. Fantastic. Well, safe travels. Might be a little bit of patchy drizzle in the morning, both Thursday, Friday, and frankly, every morning, just because of all the humidity that's going to be with us. It'll be breezy, but not necessarily super windy. And I guess the biggest thing that you're just going to notice on a daily basis will be the continuation of this very humid weather. And of course, we'll dive into a little bit more about the storm chances as well. So, air you can wear. That's going to be the headline starting tomorrow morning when you walk outside and say, oh, yeah, it does feel a little warm. We seem to have lost Walkster. He decided he's going to like hang out on the floor. So, I guess it's just going to be the Skippy cam then. Skippy, you get the center stage. Walkie decided he was going to go somewhere else. So Skipper says, don't mind if I do. Let me see if I can get him in a good spot where you can see his face. Let's see, scoot over here like that and shift the camera like that. And we're almost there. There he is. There we got the Skippy cam. Just don't move, Skipper, okay? Stay right where you are. All right, so obviously we did get the rain on Monday. It was beneficial and plentiful and all that good stuff. But truth be told, Camp Mabry's still at a deficit, so we could use some more rain, and there are indications that there might actually be some decent rain possible. Let me make sure I add the right satellite layer on here so that you can see the clouds starting to come on back in. We finally cleared out right before sunset, saw clear skies through the evening hours, and now we're watching as, just because of all the humidity around, we're getting some cloud cover that's going to roll back in. So by sunrise tomorrow morning on Thursday, it will likely be a murky morning. Everybody socked in with the clouds. Temperature-wise, pretty uniform across the Lone Star State, upper 60s and mid 70s across the board. There's actually some ongoing severe weather up in the northern Texas panhandle. Meantime, it's cold. Still a big wedge of cold air from Bismarck, North Dakota through Chicago on toward Cleveland and into Boston as well. So definitely a cold snap up north. Not so for us. In fact, our next cold front that actually has staying power and brings us lower humidity may not happen until maybe May 8th, the way it's looking. There might be a weak front that tries to shift our winds maybe around May 4th, but May the 4th be with you, possibly. May 8th, well, a little bit more likely, although that far out, anything is fair game. Temperature-wise, today we hit 78 degrees, and when I say today, I mean Wednesday. 79 degrees was the high temperature out at the airport. I thought we would be a little bit warmer because I didn't think that the clouds would be quite so prominent, but they hung tough. They did not clear until right around sunset, and by then we pretty much run out of potential for us to heat up much more. So 78 was it. Allergy report is a triple threat of mold, oak, and grass, all three in the high range. Plus, add to that, we also had pecan that was in the moderate range, and then a little mulberry, a little pine, and a few other trees for good measure. So if your nose knows that things are not right, it's because everything pollen-wise is out there doing its thing. Fire danger forecast as we look ahead to your Thursday. High fire danger reestablished itself across Mason, Llano, and Burnett counties, and we'll see moderate fire danger for the rest of the CBS Austin area. But not windy enough for a red flag warning, just something to keep in mind. I did mention the humidity outside right now. Yep, you can start to see right in here some cloud cover starting to build back in, so those clear skies giving way to, because of the moisture, a little bit of cloud cover. Temperature-wise, current temperature is 70 degrees on the nose. High temperature, as mentioned, was 78, and our low in the morning was 61 degrees. What is ahead? Well, we got patchy drizzle, possible. Breezy, humid afternoons. Could see some storms. I went with the emoji because I'm still kind of, you know how you can hem and haw? I'm hemming and hawing still. But I do think that the best bet for us to see storms will be Sunday night into Monday morning. And when I say Sunday night, it might be after midnight when those storms roll in. So just something to keep in mind. it could be a noisy night of storms after Sunday into Monday. All right, big picture. Here we go. It's pretty quiet across most of the country. However, there have been a few very isolated storms that have managed to develop right here south of a stationary front and east of a dry line. There's currently just a few counties that are under a severe thunderstorm watch in the northern Texas Panhandle and parts of the Oklahoma Panhandle. For us, we got lots of Gulf of Mexico moisture funneling its way in. And so let's take a closer look at the one area that is seeing those isolated storms around. And as you can see, there's still a severe thunderstorm warning till 1 in the a.m. That does include areas just north of Amarillo. Is it safe to say Amarillo by morning might have seen a few storms? Actually, it looks like they're going to be just east of there. That was my attempt, my feeble attempt at a pun. So there. Let's see, Bob says, Charles says, Skipper retired. Yeah, he didn't take him long to get in his spot and just kind of say, okay, I'm done. Northwest Texas, says Bob, or Western Oklahoma, or Western Kansas. You get some miles to travel, that's for sure. Multiple days of storm tracking. By the way, you guys know that you can always check out what Bob's up to. He has his own Facebook page. It's the Weather Extreme page. So, Bob, feel free to type it in there so that everybody can follow you or whatever you want to do. Tag yourself so that they can see your page. Yeah, you've got lots of options, that's for sure. Tony, how you doing? My pleasure. Thanks for staying up late on a Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Okay, yesterday we were sitting right on the edge of the refreshing to pleasant zone as far as our humidity. Well, tonight we are squarely in the muggies. They have returned. Dew point of 63 degrees. I don't think we'll quite reach into the miserable zone, but I do think we're going to kind of be stuck in a rut for the foreseeable future with dew points that every single day will be in that muggy zone, mid to upper 60s every single day. It's possible we may see dew points close to 70, especially as we round out the weekend as well. Christy, hello. Thank you for checking in late on a Wednesday night. All right, here's your hour-by-hour forecast for Thursday. Between about 6 and 10 a.m., I'm going to go with a very low chance of patchy drizzle. Not everyone will see it, but a few locations will. As we head into the afternoon, breaks in the overcast, high temperature right around 86 degrees. It will be a little breezy in the afternoon. I've got your winds out of the south about 10 to 15 miles per hour. And Bob says no M words. Okay, muggy, miserable, muggy. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. So here's a look at what to expect in the morning. As you can see, there's a little green here and a little green there. So yeah, a little bit of mist and or drizzle can't be ruled out. By lunchtime, we're seeing breaks in the overcast, temperatures near 80 degrees, and then into the afternoon, I've got your high temperature right around 86. And you'll note that the winds continue out of the south, and as long as our winds are out of the south, that continues keeping that Gulf of Mexico moisture in place. Now, this particular computer model is saying that there might be a slightly better chance of seeing patchy drizzle along the I-35 corridor on Friday morning. So now we're up to Friday around daybreak. Temperatures will be a little warmer too. They may be running close to 70 degrees. But quickly, surely and steadily, by afternoon, we break out into sunshine with just some patchy cloud cover, and I upped our high temperature to 88 degrees for your Friday. All right, let's talk about storms, shall we? In terms of rain chances, initially I was holding it down at about a 20% chance because frankly, the weekend rain chances still are not, I'm not seeing clear signs from multiple computer models on how everything's going to evolve. But there is that chance. And I'm going to show you in a little bit the GFS computer model. That's the American computer model. Hi, Sally. And it has been oddly consistent. Every single computer model run for the last, 2-3 days has suggested 2 distinct rounds of storms. One late on Saturday that moves from the northwest into the hill country and across the I-35 corridor. The other one Sunday night and continuing to Monday that starts up to the north and then pushes through And both of these potentially could bring some locally heavy rain, and I'm going to say maybe a strong / severe thunderstorm chance as well. Speaking of which, the weather setup for now, at least, is that, and these are off by 1 day. So disregard these day names because since it's after midnight, they say the wrong thing. But fear not, I can fix this. I have the technology. I just so happen to have a bunch of day names up my sleeve. So, Saturday is here, and Sunday is here, and Monday is here. See how I did that? It's all better now. All right, and then also the Storm Prediction Center typically around midnight starts putting its products out for the next day. I haven't checked. I'll go check on my other computer and see if they have updated the new forecasts yet for day 1, day 2, and day 3. Oh, and Bob's on the Twitter. I see your tweet there too. Now that I go there, looks like for and I'll show you these in. I'll show you the day-by-day threats in a second too. But for now, this will suffice. Looking at the potential for severe weather on Sunday, you can see that the Storm Prediction Center had that 15% risk to our north and west. This is a 15% risk. Typically that 5% risk, which would be the green, which is the marginal risk, extends farther to the, around the periphery of that. So I kind of have a hunch that on Sunday we will probably be included in the 5% risk zone. Likewise, Monday, the risk currently is up here, but I think that it'll probably be shoved south to include us, and not showing any 15% risks on Saturday, but I wouldn't be shocked if they end up going with a 5% risk here on Saturday as well. So, just keep in mind, it's a possibility. Okay. So, you know what? I told you I was going to go through the day-by-day severe weather threats, which I had my little map. What did I do with it? I showed it during one of my shows, and then I may have either deleted it out of here or, oh, here it is. I knew I had it. Okay, so this is looking at all of Texas, and I'm going to have to do the same thing with the day names because I think they'll all be shifted a little bit. So it looks like the Thursday threat is actually legitimately Thursday. So this is truly Thursday. And incidentally enough, the Storm Prediction Center has not yet updated its Friday graphic as far as I can tell. So this is going to be still Thursday. This was the previous Thursday graphic, and this is the new Thursday graphic. And that would then mean that this right here is the Friday graphic. So there you have it. 3 days of storm chances to the northwest, to the north and northwest. And this Friday risk is meh as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, there will be at least multiple potential days where there may be some strong / severe thunderstorms. All right, let me show you, just to kind of get you guys interested, let me show you the potential rainfall over the next 7 days. Let's see. Okay, so anyway, Bob is now coming at us from not his personal account, but from his Facebook brand account or whatever. It's Bobpack Wickstream. WX is the abbreviation for weather, and of course it's Weather Extreme. But anyway, if you guys want to follow his page, you will get to follow his adventures as he goes out and tracks storms across Texas and adjacent areas. Gary, what's going on? You say in the middle of a storm between Amarillo and Pampa. So you're in that one storm that was up there, the severe weather one. Be safe. I'm sure you are doing just that. Let's see. You say you. Oh yeah, and on Twitter you can also follow Bob. And a lot of times when Bob is out and about, he'll tag me, and I try and retweet his pictures and that kind of thing. So it's always fun seeing his contributions and updates and that kind of thing. Okay, so this is the latest and greatest. Now, the GFS computer model, which is this one on the left-hand side, these numbers reflect the latest rendition of the computer model, which just updated late Wednesday night. The European computer model, on the other hand, takes a few extra hours, or at least a couple extra hours to come in. So the European computer model is still reflecting the earlier computer model run. But one thing is for sure, both computer models are indicating somewhat of a similar theme. That theme includes not a lot for areas from Lee and Fayette counties, that's pretty consistent, and possibly some decent rainfall for the I-35 corridor and the hill country. And boy, the hill country needs it desperately. So wouldn't it be something if we saw a widespread 1 to 3 incher out through the drought-stricken areas? So now that I've at least gotten your attention, it's not set in stone, but there's potential. Remember how I told you there were 2 potential events? One is Saturday, late afternoon, evening. The other one is Sunday night, Monday. So at last check, the European computer model was saying no to Saturday, but yes to Sunday night, Monday. Whereas the GFS computer model was saying yes to both. And once we get a little bit closer, then we can start relying on the higher resolution computer models, which will give us a better idea of how things may play out. But for an example, and I've got to say, I don't believe that this graphic in itself is updated, even though the previous computer model forecast amounts of rain were updated. This looks exactly like what I showed on the news earlier, which was the previous computer model run, for whatever it's worth. But the idea being, on Saturday, there's going to be a cold front that tries to sag at least close to us. It's not going to make it through. It's going to end up waffling back north as we head through Sunday. But the front itself is going to try to get somewhat close to us, and some outflow, meaning wind-driven storms that are on the leading edge of this line of storms, if you will. Some of that outflow may make its way first from the northwest and then head through the hill country and kind of trudge toward the south and east. Along the way, maybe some heavy rain potential, so something that we're going to keep an eye on. Danny Smith, what's going on? Thanks for checking in on the sleeping doggy. Here he is. Ta-da! Okay, fast forward to Sunday. Now on Sunday, the cold front that I was showing that might be kind of draped close to us on Saturday, well, it basically lifts its way back up. So we're seeing a warm front lift back up to the north from North Texas into Oklahoma. At the same time, we may end up having a dry line develop, and that dry line is the line that separates the really warm and humid air from the drier air. So I was trying to find my little humid icon. I can't find it. It's in there somewhere. But anyway, so soupy humid air is here, and that's where we'll be. And then the dry air is back here. So anyway, it's possible that we could see storms initiate close to this junction or along the dry line itself. And once they initiate, it may be really late. Like this is showing about 11:30 at night. Once these storms initiate, then they are going to try to propagate eastward. And if they hold together, then they could push all the way across our area from overnight Sunday night into Monday morning. And a couple of computer models are saying, yeah, this might happen. So here's potentially how it could progress. You see that? So storms way out west that looked pretty nasty move across our area. Some of them could bring some locally heavy rain, maybe some gusty winds. I'm not really thinking that we're going to see the tornado threat or anything like that, but I do think, potentially some pretty high gusts of wind, maybe low end severe in that regard. Overall, though, just potentially some heavier rain. Okay, so then that moves through, and then we're left with lower chances of rain. And these are all going to be off by a day because it's after midnight. So take all these days and push them down by a day. So Sunday's the 40% chance overnight, Saturday's the 30% chance, and Friday's the 10% chance, if that makes any sense, again, because it's after midnight. But while I showed you those really big rainfall totals per the other two computer models, the Weather Prediction Center is being much more conservative, which, you know, frankly, when you're in the drought, it's probably not a good idea to be forecasting crazy numbers. But in this instance, the Weather Prediction Center was giving a scant 1/10 of an inch to areas like Fayette County, only about 1/4 of an inch to areas east of I-35, maybe up to about 1/2 an inch for the Austin area, and only about 3/4 of an inch for Blanco County. Obviously, these numbers are far different than what was showing up from both the GFS and the European computer model. If I were playing this game, which I suppose I am because I'm forecasting the weather, I would probably split the difference and show some areas that could get up to around 1 inch of rain with isolated spots that could get up to 2 inches of rain. So I'd be a little heavier than what you see here, but I wouldn't be quite as aggressive as what you saw on that previous map until we get more confidence. All right, let's look at the upper level pattern. And with respect to this, first thing I want to show you is Saturday. So on Saturday, it's going to be a pretty good bet that we see a pretty decent little disturbance in the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere that's going to pull across the central plains from Nebraska and then points on toward the east. Because of the fact that this low up here is so far north of us, that pretty much immediately says, meh, we're probably not going to see anything super substantial or strong. However, you will also notice that there is, although it's not much, there is a little bit of enhancement. These brighter colors here basically showing little ripples of energy that might possibly help provide a little bit more oomph for any storms. So that's why I decided to opt for a 30% chance late Saturday. We'll see how things play out. Okay, now let's advance to Sunday. Now what's interesting, oops, this is going way quick. Okay, so let's go to Sunday. So one thing that's interesting is, remember on Sunday, by that point at the surface, we have a dry line out in West Texas, and we have a warm front that's north of us up in Oklahoma. However, here you can see there's actually, instead of being like a tight, packed swirl of energy, there is an elongated area of enhanced energy that stretches all the way from Wichita, Kansas, down into northern Mexico. So all of this energy, if you will, and if you look at it from the winds here, if you see this little wind pattern, there's a little tiny, it's subtle, but there's a little tiny dip that roughly corresponds with this energy, if you will. And so that's what we're going to call, it's called a short wave, which is like a little kind of perturbation in the overall flow of the atmosphere. And it's these little short waves or disturbances in the mid to upper atmosphere that can sometimes be the spark for storms. So that's something that might make Sunday night into Monday a little more reasonable or possible than the other Saturday chance, which is a little bit less, doesn't look quite as good. All right, so then let's advance through time, and it's pretty easy to see there's another swirl in the atmosphere, another area of what we call vorticity or spin in the atmosphere. And this, yet again, is going to be pulling across the central United States as opposed to farther south into Texas. So because we, yet again, are pretty far south of the main core of this energy, we may not see a whole lot. And then we'll watch as that little ripple in the atmosphere pushes off to the east. And then on Wednesday into Thursday, there's going to be another one that rotates through this one, moving over Chicago by the time we reach late Thursday. And interesting to note that by Thursday, we've actually got wind flow in the mid-levels that's basically northwest, and there may actually be a ridge of high pressure developing down to our south over Mexico. So in this instance, the nasty stormy weather would be up here closer to that low, and we would actually end up by Thursday potentially being somewhat on the quiet side. Again, this is just one computer model, but kind of wanted to share that with you. Okay, let's see, is this the same? This is the same one that we just showed, the GFS computer model. So you've already seen that. Okay, so now let's look at the European computer model, just for comparison's sake, because I showed you kind of the more bullish one that was suggesting, yes, that we could see storms both late Saturday and again on Sunday. Bill, what's going on? You say I'm tireless. You know what? I take sneaky naps sometimes. I think that's how I get away with it. Okay, so now we are looking at the European computer model, again for the weekend, just for comparison's sake. This guy sleeping a lot. Let me see if I can back it up so you can see his face. There he is, sweet little guy. He's actually, I don't know if you can hear it, he's snoring very quietly, but he's snoring. Okay, so here's Saturday morning. Let's advance through time. And unlike the other computer model that was bringing in like some legitimate storms, this is actually overdone. It's probably more than what will actually materialize, but this is just showing a couple passing showers, in large part due to the fact that we'll probably have a pretty stout cap or lid on the atmosphere, at least during the daytime hours on Saturday. That lid and cap may weaken somewhat as we head towards Saturday late. And it's something to note also is that the European computer model is not quite as far south with bringing that potential front, but it may dig it to near the DFW area before it retreats back up to the north. So Saturday evening, the other computer model was showing a pretty good amount of storm action over us by about 5 to 8 p.m. Nothing showing up per the European computer model. So let's advance through time. I'll go ahead and remove that front. By early Sunday, it does look like there's some outflow boundary driven storms that are trying to kind of back in from northeast to southwest. The question is, how far south will they make it? So we watch, and they really didn't. So then we look ahead to Sunday, and on Sunday, by this point, we're watching a cluster of storms around 7 p.m. well to our north. But this time, the computer model is actually pulling some of this across through our area. So let's go ahead and play it through Sunday night into Monday morning. And there you go. Not as substantial as what the other computer model showed, but at least there's something that does show up. And then we advance on through Tuesday, and then on into Tuesday night and Wednesday. So by and large, this computer model is not nearly as aggressive with this system as the other one was, for what it's worth. And then there you have it. Finally, let me get back around to the 7-day forecast one more time for those of you who didn't see it the first go around. And it's after 1 a.m. I think the 7 days is going to be off by a day. Okay, just kidding. Yep, the 7 days off by a day. That's what happens whenever I do these things late at night. So with that said, let's move to the other weather computer. I will log off the work computer and we will be good to go. Also, I don't know if you guys recall, but on this date 1 year ago, do you remember the giant-sized hail that fell in Hondo? So take a look. Do you remember this? Back on this date, I think this will enlarge it. Let me see. Yeah, there you go. Okay, there you go. Okay, so back on this date, April 28th, 2021, we actually had hail, and it was big in Hondo, which is southwest of us, west of San Antonio. Get a load of this thing. This hailstone right here measured 6.4 inches in diameter It weighed 1.25 pounds, and it set the record for largest hailstone on record in the state of Texas. Insane, right? So I thought I would throw that at you just for good measure. Let's see, temperature-wise, I wanted to show you some of the latest computer model data, suggesting that we'll probably be in the mid to upper 80s all the way through. This is the GFS computer model that just came out. So it's showing Thursday 85, Friday 88, Saturday 85, Sunday 86, Monday 86, and then hotter on Tuesday up to 90, and then 88 degrees on Wednesday. So it has us pretty consistently warm/hot. Ooh, the day 2 SPC outlook is there. Let's go to the maps. I will go to the Storm Prediction Center and we will take a look. This is what night owls do, is in the middle of the night we wait for the latest the latest projections from the Storm Prediction Center. All right, so there we have it. I'll zoom this in a little bit as well so we can see. All right, so for your reference, the marginal severe weather risk extends just to the northwest of Waco. That's a level 1 threat in the darker green. The slight risk, which is the level 2 of 5, is the yellow, and that includes Wichita Falls, Texas, up to Oklahoma City. The enhanced risk, which is a level 3 of 5, and this is for Friday, extends from just north of Oklahoma City, northward into Kansas, and all the way into southern sections of Nebraska. So now let's take a look at the storm risks. So here's the tornado threat, and it does show a hatched area that's in the bright yellow. I'll go ahead and zoom this in for you a little bit more as well. Oops. There we go. Make it super big so you can see it. So the enhanced or the higher potential for a tornado is right in here where I've drawn that yellow line. And that hatched means that there's potential for EF2 or greater tornadoes. So this is going to be a tricky day. Yeah, Bob says, look at tornado, I'm on it. And then a 5% risk extends around it that includes Norman, Oklahoma, down to Wichita Falls, and then 2% risk that includes the Abilene area. But anytime there is a hatched area, as I mentioned just a second ago, that is an indicator of, I'm trying to figure out where I'm right, there we go. That's an indicator of the possibility of an EF2 to EF5 within 25 miles of a point. So I mean, that's a substantial risk right in here, EF2 to EF5. That's the hatched area, 10% or greater chance of that. And so just looking at each of the categories here, we've got a 10% significant severe risk and tornado risk, Tulsa, Wichita, Topeka, Edmond, Oklahoma, Manhattan, Kansas. So yeah, this will be a day to watch for sure. So Bob, thanks for letting me know that that had just come in, hot off the presses. Another thing I wanted to share with you, trying to think, this is the whole look at the next week of severe weather chances. And a lot of these will be updated overnight tonight when the Storm Prediction Center kind of does its, nightly updates. So we already know that Friday, which did just get bumped up. So this is an old map. They haven't refreshed it yet. So now we have a level 3 in that Friday zone.
Saturday, at last check, there was only a risk of 15% well out of Texas. But I think it's possible there may be a 5% risk put in for Saturday. And then Sunday, I'm expecting that we will probably end up being in the 5% risk. And then Monday, I think we'll end up in the 5% risk. In these cases, the 15% risk is the area in yellow. I think that that'll probably be expanded and extended. Bob says, I can answer that. Yes, they can if they hit any point of the weakest support. Oh, Gary was asking about panhandle risk. I was like, wait a second, I lost it. And Charles says, that was a big hailstone. Yeah. When they're that big, can they come through the roof of a house? Yes, they can. And there have been roofs that have been damaged and many a windshield that have been damaged by giant-sized hail. So yes, it can absolutely happen that way. Also, I figure while we do this every night, we should do some like weather history stuff. So not only was it the record biggest hailstone in Texas that occurred on April 28th, back on 2021, but in 1953, there were tornadoes reported in Bastrop and Bexar counties on April 28th of 53. Tornadoes caused, unfortunately, one fatality. So it looks like houses destroyed near the San Antonio airport. One person killed, 5 others injured by that storm. Those of you in the Kyle area, there was a tornado on this date back in 1925. It says 3 people were killed and 40 were injured. So late April into May can be a pretty active time of year. Smithville tornado, 1953. Says, I think this is the same account as that previous one. It says 1 woman was killed as her home was completely swept away 3 miles northeast of the San Antonio airport. So yeah, not good. So that's one thing. And then while I still have you guys here, Bob says, you tweeted a hail picture today from 7 years ago. I should check it out and see. All right, so finally, let's look at the holidays. Because I figure, while I've got you guys as my, you have my undivided, or I have your undivided attention. Let's celebrate some holidays, too, as we look ahead to April 28th. For me, I usually skip through and only worry about the food holidays so that I can make sure to celebrate them. So right below Love Your Thighs Day, which is, I don't know about you, a rather ridiculous sounding holiday. It's National Blueberry Pie Day, so that's one that you might want to celebrate. Other things that sound like fun, National Superhero Day. It's also National Kiss Your Mate Day. Let's see, Thank You Thursday is another one. So yeah, some holidays to celebrate as well. Let's see. Now you got me all interested, Bob. Let me go find your Twitter account. Standing by. It'll take a second for it to update. There we are. All right, so let's check out Bob's picture that he tweeted earlier on his account. And, that's some hail. Check it out. Dublin, Texas, 7 years ago. That is some quite large hail indeed. So just goes to show you it can happen. 7 years ago in Dublin, Texas. And I am going to be the first to say I don't know where Dublin, Texas is. That's why we have Google. But anyway, cool. That's pretty substantial stuff. All right, on that note, they say the first storm covered Dublin, Texas, 2 to 3 inches of snow. Second storm dropped quality size, not quantity. Gotcha. Okay, because I must figure this out, I'm currently Google searching Dublin, Texas. Erath County is where Dublin is located. See, you're teaching me a thing or two, Bob. I appreciate that. So let's see where that is. It's southwest of Stephenville and quite a bit southwest of Fort Worth. So it would be northwest of Waco and southeast of Abilene. There you have it. say Dr. Pepper was invented there. Oh, really? Now, I have been to the Dr. Pepper Museum in Waco. I don't remember hearing about Dublin. Maybe that's because I wasn't paying attention. Oh, sure enough, quick facts. Dublin is a city located in southwestern Erath County in central Texas. Population in 2010 was 3,600, down from 3,700 in 2000. So it's actually shrinking. And it's the town is the former home of the world's oldest Dr. Pepper bottling plant. There you have it. Fun little fact about Dublin, Texas. All right, we are going to call it a night, but thank you guys for checking in. Obviously, this time of year, there is the potential for giant-sized hail. There's also the possibility of tornadoes, as we saw for, previous weather events that have happened on this date. But at least April 28th, 2022 in the Austin area. Looks pretty quiet. We'll just see that patchy drizzle giving way to breaks in the overcast, warm temperatures, and for us, it won't be until the weekend that we really start to ramp up and consider storm chances. All right, that is it, you guys. Thanks for checking in. Have a great night. Avery Tomasco will have updates on CBS Austin starting at 4:30 a.m., which isn't that long from now. It's just a mere 3 hours away. And by the way, you can always check out the latest forecast at cbsaustin.com. Have a great night, sweet dreams, and we'll talk to you later.